Hej! Välkomna till Lunds Fountainhus YouTube-kanal Fika Fredag. En till avsnittet. Och vi ska prata engelska. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
This is Fabio, and he is a pilot. Thanks for coming in studio. This is really awesome.
Thanks for inviting me.
And exciting. Really quick, can we go? You live here in Sweden.
I do, yes.
But you don't speak Swedish.
En liten svenska.
En liten svenska.
Jag lärde svenska på SFI. I started only slightly more than 6 months ago. So I don't really feel confident in having a conversation in Swedish
Speaking
yet.
Swedish, okay.
Well,
But for work, do you have to speak?
I don't, no.
Can you say who you work for?
No.
Can I guess? It's a Swedish company or no?
No.
So it's not SAS.
Well, SAS is not Swedish too.
They're not Swedish.
No.
Where?
They are based in Denmark now.
Denmark.
The main, they have two headquarters, so it's a half and half. It's half Swedish and half Danish.
Okay.
So,
All right. What's the other big one in Sweden? Don't they have another big? Or Scandinavia? Isn't there another big?
Well, Scandinavia, there's another one in Norway now. There's Norwegian.
Norwegian. I'm thinking of KLM. Is that Finnish?
KLM is Dutch.
Dutch. You know what?
Almost.
Let's have your background. Tell us, Italy to Sweden. How'd this...
Well, yeah, I was born and raised in Italy, lived there for many years, and I started working in Italy for what was then the national airline. Now that doesn't exist anymore, so I don't need to say the name.
Well, can we rest in peace to the name?
Mourning to that. And then I moved out of Italy to one of the big Gulf carriers. Spent 12 and a half. So I worked 12 years in Italy. Then I worked 12 and a half years in the Gulf.
Sorry, let me stop you, please. When you say Gulf carriers, you mean like golf?
No, not golf, but Gulf.
Oh, like yeah, okay. Like the Gulf of Mexico.
Nothing, and yes, exactly.
Rest in peace. Now it's the Gulf of America.
I'm very bad in golf, the sport.
Yeah.
So I found out I was trying to play one day with one of my friends. He was a handicap 2 in golf. And we were in this practice field.
Handicap 2 that's good, right?
I think it's very good.
Yeah.
Yes. And after 1 hour and a half that he was trying to tell me how to do a swing or whatever it is, he looked at me and says, "Are you really sure you want to play golf?" That's when I got a hint that probably golf was not my thing.
Are you really sure you want to play golf?
Yeah, so I mean, we were just there losing time, so it was fine, and I didn't took offense on that. So,
so you flew 12 years just only on the Gulf?
No, I flew worldwide, but I was leaving and starting from the Gulf.
Oh, you were based in the Gulf.
I was based in the Gulf. Yes.
All right.
I'm not saying which airline, but I mean, there's not many of them. One of the three. Let's say, let's put it in that way. And then I wanted to move back to Europe. So I got an opportunity to, we were already planning to come living in Scandinavia. And then I found the perfect fit for me. So there was an airline that was looking for pilots, my specific type of pilots. So, and it was based here in Scandinavia. So it was. And
you didn't have to speak Swedish as a requirement.
No, there's the national language requirement is mainly for national airlines, and the market now is becoming so tight for every airline in the world to find pilots that the language requirement is slowly fading everywhere. Even KLM, there was one of the hardcore rules about you need to be Dutch. They are now recruiting experts. So because they cannot find any more Dutch pilots.
If you can fly perfect. If you can't speak the language, well, at least you can fly.
Well, some airlines, what they do is that you don't need to speak the language when you join, but maybe you have a 1 year, 2 year, 3 years time to get to a specific proficient level in the local language, and maybe they will sponsor you a language course or something. So on the side of your normal job, then you also have to study the language. I recently saw Air France that they're recruiting, and you still need to be fluent in French. So
the only thing I can gather with that is if it's non-international flights. You know, for instance, like if it's L.A. to New York, why would they speak Spanish or French or right? They're inside.
So L.A. to New York, it's you are now going into different scenario, because LA.
Yeah,
to
but
New
I mean, you know.
But LA to New York is a national flight.
Yeah, I'm saying
it's
like
inside the
Malmo
country.
to Stockholm. Why would they be speaking French or German? It's inside the country of Sweden.
Yeah,
They're
but
gonna
then,
be speaking.
but then in that case, you will be looking for somebody that speaks Swedish.
Yeah.
Which possibly that is the case, but the international language in aviation is English everywhere. And then, I mean, there's an organization that is worldwide known. It's called ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. That's the organization that makes the highest tier rules for everybody in the world, and then every country can stick to that, or can comply with that, or can say, yeah, we understand that kind of rule, but we have such a different setup here in our country that we cannot really follow that rule. But basically, they put the baseline for everybody in the world, and ICAO publishes their documents in 5 languages. The languages are English, French, Spanish, Chinese, and Russian. That's it. So these are the 5 official aviation languages. If you don't speak these 5, one of these 5.
So are you saying that every pilot in the sky speaks one of those languages?
They have to.
And you can then
But
kind
now,
of talk to everybody when you're up in the sky?
Yeah.
You know?
Nowadays, every pilot in the world, especially flying commercially, is being tested for the proficiency in English.
Okay.
All of us, we have a test. It's written in our license that we comply with a certain level. There's 6 levels, 1 to 6. The minimum level to be able to work is level 4, and level 6 you are considered mother tongue language, native speaking.
All right.
If you have levels below 4, you will not be able to work. You will not have a commercial license.
So you could have something more private?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can have a private license. You can fly a small Cessna, the propeller airplane.
Yeah, you would fly
like 4 seats. If you want to fly, let's say here in Sweden, you want to fly with your personal aircraft or with a small aircraft from the flying club, and you just stay inside Sweden, you don't need to speak English. So you can then move around with that aircraft just speaking Swedish. That's fine, because you are inside the country. But if you want to go internationally, then you need to be fluent in Swedish. In English. And then you will be tested for that.
And you have English. How'd you learn English? In Italy? Is it like here in Sweden they teach you?
I wouldn't say so.
No?
English in Italy is very poorly taught. I have to admit, I have to say that I had a reasonably good teacher in my middle schools back in Italy. That was only 3 years. After that, I kind of hanged around for high school. Yeah, that's fine. I kind of hang around for high school. And I would say that the most that I've learned proper English, I was able to speak English, and I got my license, so I started working. Back in the days, I started working more than 25 years ago. And 25 years ago, there was no test for your English. I mean, you do an initial test to have a license that says that you can go abroad, but there was not this level testing that we have nowadays.
25 years ago, was that Post 9/11 you started?
No, I started before 9/11.
Wow, okay. Well, now the conversation changes.
I still remember where I was on 9/11.
Were you in the sky?
No, I was in Dublin, and I was bound to return for my leave. I mean, I got a week of holidays in Ireland, and that day I was supposed to come back home from Dublin, but I didn't.
I know they grounded
came
all
back the
flights in
next day.
America. Did they ground all flights worldwide?
No, they haven't. But all the flights that were crossing crossing the pond, all the flights that were going North Atlantic, so crossing going to North America, those flights were cancelled. So then all of a sudden a lot of flights were cancelled. A lot of people were grounded. And in my case, because I was already an employee of an airline, I could travel with discounted tickets for my airline. But the catch is that you cannot book the seats. You are on standby. And basically that day, how many people were booked on that flight, and the same amount of people showed up for that flight. So there was no empty seats. So that's why I remained on the ground in Dublin, and I flew back home the next day. I always, because I travel in this way, I used to travel in this way, I always take a buffer. So even the next day I was still on leave. So I didn't cancel any flight. I didn't show up late for my work. But yeah, it was an interesting day.
Yeah, I could imagine. How'd you get your wings? Because flight school, my research, every flight school around the world, everywhere, unless you join the military, is expensive.
It is.
Expensive. And then you become a pilot and they pay you peanuts.
It is. Yeah. Well, so the aviation world in the last 30 years, because I started flying more than 30 years ago, has changed a lot. And I would say that also the advent of the euro, the eurozone and the euro as a money, as a value, changed a lot the balances.
You're talking the union and the currency?
The currency mainly.
The currency mainly?
Yeah, because I mean, again, I started flying where I was paying in Italian lira. Because we didn't have euro back at the time. And I saw the changes, and I was already flying at least in Europe and basically in the Mediterranean area when we changed into euros. So I really saw the difference in changes from when we switched to national currencies to the euro. And to try to remain in a politically correct way, I could really see that somebody changed almost 1-to-1, and somebody changed 1-to-2, somebody changed 1-to-4, and that changed a lot the buying capacity of people. In my case, we changed, let's say, 1-to-2, but for some reason, which it's way above my pay grade.
Pay grade, yeah.
Basically, our salary changed 1-to-2. So what was roughly 2,000 lira became €1. And so if you were making, I'll round it up, 2 million lira at the end of the month, then it became 1,000 euros. Easy as that. But somehow, groceries, everything you were shopping, if it was worth it 2,000 liras, then it became €2. So now all of a sudden your buying power is not as before. Is now half of it. And the same happened in countries that they had the exchange rate at 1-to-4. So now all of a sudden your buying power or your cost of living quadrupled in one night.
So then the price of flight school
goes up
as well.
That's one of the things. I mean,
so were you lucky then?
Flying has always been expensive.
Even when you got your wings.
Yeah, well,
still expensive.
I was lucky because I'm a single son, and when I told my parents that I wanted to be a pilot.
Yeah, how old were you when you What
Well,
were you
the
like?
first time I told my parents that I wanted to be a pilot, I think I was 11.
That young?
Yeah,
Because you were on an airplane once, and you
yeah. That's.
is that the story?
I mean, there's the story or the legend. We have several legends.
The pre 9/11 story. I got to go into the cockpit.
We have several legends about that, but the one that we love the most was that basically the first time my parents put me on a plane, they took me down 24 hours later because we flew to Australia.
Wow. Okay.
That was a big family happening. We went to Australia for almost 20 days,
Wow.
and the legend says that the very last day we were very tired, so we went to the airport insanely early to wait for our return flight. And I basically stared for 3 hours in front of a Qantas 747 jumbo jet. You know, the one that has the cockpit way high.
Yeah.
And I stared there for 3 hours. And when my mom told me, "Hey, now it's time to go," she used to say that I said, I wonder how long it takes for me to get up there. So, yeah, basically that was it. Since then, I said I wanted to be a pilot, and I always focused on that. So, when my parents saw that I was really focused, that I was really hooked into it, then they did whatever they could to help me out.
So how old were you when flight school took place?
When I started flying school, I was 16.
So is this the only job you've ever had? Did you never have like a grocery store clerk?
No. I did several jobs to help my
fry
parents.
cook.
I did several jobs to help my parents while I was doing my licenses. First of all, I did my military service, which was
Is that required?
mandatory. It was mandatory back at the time in Italy.
Did you kill anybody?
No, I didn't
Okay.
kill. I was in the logistics, so
Well,
I didn't kill anybody.
Teach the
I barely shot any bullets.
Yeah, how long is military service for? Required military service.
Back at the time, it was for normal military. It was 8 months, but I did it as I don't know how to say that in English, but as a temporary officer. So that was 14 months instead of 8. So it was a little bit longer, but the pay was also better. I mean, I was salaried like a normal employer.
Okay.
So that was one.
Did you enjoy that time?
Yes and no. At the time, I enjoyed it so and so, but in hindsight, I have to say that I've learned a lot of things. So
was there any
it was a
lifelong
good experience?
Any lifelong friends from the military service?
No, I wouldn't say so.
No camaraderie.
I mean, I was the only one in my age group in that.
So every guy was older than.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So that kind of killed. The opportunities to have any long term friends.
And the short time too, 14 months. I mean that's.
Yes.
It's...
And then I also spent out of those 14 months, 3 were spent in the training. So that was in a different part.
Yeah, you had the boot camp.
Yeah, exactly. And then I went to the official detachment. Which was a different place. So it wasn't. And honestly, I was basically based at home. I mean
What part of Italy you from?
Modena.
Modena.
Close to Bologna.
Or Pisa.
Where no, Pisa is not that
Venice,
close.
Florence,
Milan
Rome.
is 2 hours away. Venice is
Sicily?
again 2 hours away. No,
Sorry.
you're going too far.
Sorry.
There's 3 things coming from Modena, and everybody in the world knows them: Ferrari, Pavarotti, and balsamic vinegar.
Oh, okay, all right. Those are great. Those are great.
So those are from my country, from my city.
Your city there, yeah.
Yeah. So we are very, very, very proud of all 3 of them.
Cool. So from Modena, Italy, all the way to Lund, Sweden now.
Yes.
That's nice. And you did your military service, and then.
So I did my military
service. So from
service.
11 years old, I want to be a pilot. You do your military service, then you become.
The military service was much later than that, but so I did an aeronautical high school, which also helped me because basically. Part of the studies that I have to do for my licenses, for my flying licenses, basically I studied by myself.
So it's a high school designed for pilots?
It's not for pilots. It's for
airspace. Aerospace.
No? aeronautical.
Up in the aeronautical, up in the sky.
It's not an engineering school.
Okay.
Because engineering, it's more a university level kind of things. So high school, you stay at more at the baseline level. But it basically gave me the foundations, the baseline of information for any type of jobs that you want to do in an aeronautical environment. So I was prepared, not only me, I mean everybody in my class. We were prepared to become potentially a pilot or an air traffic controller or a mechanic, an engineer, anything else. But anything that was affecting that was connected to the aeronautical environment.
So aeronautical doesn't mean in the sky. You could be working at the airport.
Say so.
Yeah?
Yes. Yeah. I mean,
and
yes.
on the ground the whole time.
Yeah,
but you work at the airport. You work in aeronautics.
You could have been also a flight dispatcher, for example.
Flight
dispatcher are those people that create the flight plans for all the commercial aircraft. So there's a lot of things that you have to look after when you create the flight plan for a commercial flight. And this is another specialization that it's possible in the aeronautical world. So we got the preparation and the baseline to do whatever we want
in high school.
In high school, yeah.
That's
because
crazy.
that was tailored for that kind of environment.
Well, they do have a circus high school in Stockholm, so I guess it makes sense to have a.
I don't know. It's a different kind of setup here in Sweden, but basically we used to divide schools in Italy into what we call the lyceum. So they give you a general preparation, scientific or classical, about books and writing. That's very generic and prepares you to basically go on and study also at the university. And then we have what we call the technical schools. And the technical schools, you can be electronic, you can be aeronautical, you can be physics, sciences, chemical. There's tons of them. So basically, and with a technical school, or at least back at the time, I don't know now because in 30 years the schools has changed a lot. But back at the time, if you were doing a technical school, basically you were potentially getting ready to go working directly after high school.
So it is like here in Sweden.
It's not that
you
could not go to the university.
Right,
you could go to the university, but you have a different mindset of preparation. You know? The lyceum, let's call it that way, they were more theoretical, and they were really preparing you to study. So you were maybe more ready to the kind of studying that you needed to do at the university, while a technical school were more, let's say, more hands-on, more practical. So they were really looking, this thing, you do it in this way,
right.
This thing, the rules are this, and that. And then if you learn how to do the rules, if you know how to follow the rules, then this is the outcome. You had a practical application of what you were studying. Where the lyceum,
it is kind of like Sweden. My 17-year-old's going to graduate next year with a plumbing. So he's graduating high school, and then if he wants to, he can go right into the plumbing field.
Yeah.
Versus in America, you go and graduate first with basically nothing, and then you get your plumbing degree or your electrical, and that takes 3 years. Well, that's what high school takes here, is 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, let's put 2 and 2 together. Like,
I saw that here they have this gymnasium, and they have technical gymnasium, and they have non-technical gymnasium. So
the circus. I know a guy who did the circus. He can do everything.
Yeah,
I mean, all these flips and tricks and card tricks and ball tricks and the trapeze, and I'm like, when did you learn that? He's like, when I was in high school. I'm like, how'd you learn that in high school? Circus high school.
So I did the aeronautical high school. That helped me because basically when I started studying for, let's call it the second level of my flying licenses, basically I studied alone. I didn't need to go to the theoretical school of my flying club. I did everything. I did all the preparation myself because I basically studied already those things when I was at high school. So I just need to refresh them. I used my own books. I prepared for the test. I went for the test, passed. That's it. In the meantime, while I was doing that to help also my parents, then I did any sort of job. I worked as a waiter. I worked as normal office worker for temporary job for Christmas in delivery company.
Were you working these? I call them shit jobs. Were you working the shit jobs while going to flight school?
Yes.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
wow.
So
And your parents were helping you as well?
I was trying to, basically the agreement between me and my parents was my parents were paying for the flying school, and I was paying for everything else. So my own living I paid for myself.
Yeah. You want a cheeseburger, you go buy it.
Exactly.
You want wings, Mom? I need my wings.
No, I mean, yes. Well, the flying club was basically sending a receipt every month with he flew this much, because basically the biggest cost of the flying school is your flight hours, because
getting up there in the sky.
You need to pile up hours to get the license. And those hours have to be paid because the aircraft burns fuel. An aircraft is expensive to maintain. There's a lot of things you need to pay the instructor, and all the three costs together, they make basically the cost of a flying hours. And normally, to have the baseline commercial license to be able to start working, you need to have between 200 to 250 hours.
How long does it take to get those?
Well, that depends on how much focused are you.
So you mean if you just keep telling your instructor, put me up, they're gonna send you up there?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, if you do that one only, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4 flights a day.
Is it an hour flight a day?
It's maybe not recommended in some cases, especially at the beginning. At the beginning, you normally do 45 minutes to 1 hour flight, not more than that. Because
and you're with an instructor, right?
Obviously,
and is he telling you?
Well, initially,
what is it? Bank when you turn, bank left, bank right, or something? And
initially, you start from
do the loop de loo.
No,
loop de loo.
forget about loops to nose and that's high skilled aviators.
Barrel rolls.
Nothing of that sort. But yeah, when you start from the very beginning. So you just go up and you learn that pulling back, the aircraft goes up to a certain point. You push forward, the aircraft goes down. You turn left, the aircraft goes left. You turn right, the aircraft goes right, and so on and so forth. And you just start doing those baseline maneuvers.
Okay.
In the air, because then the dynamics and the physics of an aircraft are intertwined. So if you turn, then tendentially the aircraft starts descending. So if you turn, you have to pull back a bit, because if you want to maintain the same level that you are at,
right, you
don't want to descend while you turn. So then you start learning that, when I turn, then I need to pull back, especially with propeller aircraft. Then when you turn, the propeller has a momentum, so that tries to yaw the aircraft. So also when you turn and pull, you also have to pull one of the pedals. So you have to work with all your arms and legs together to make it work.
What are you doing with your legs?
With your legs, you move what is called the rudder.
The tail.
The tail, yeah.
Oh, that's how
So that moves the tails. On commercial aircraft, 90% of the time the tail is moved by an automatic system that prevents the aircraft to basically bounce left and right. So that's an automatic thing. But when you have, for example, crosswinds, you take off with wind from your side, left or right, the aircraft automatically tends to go with the nose towards the wind. So you
mean the wind's coming this way?
So let's say that,
and your
that you have the wind coming
off.
Yeah. So let's
goes to the wind.
Let's say that I need to take off in this direction, and I have a wind coming from the right.
Yeah.
Then the aircraft automatically by physics, it tends to turn towards the wind.
Into the wind.
So it tends to put its nose towards the wind, because also the tail basically is like a big flag.
Yeah.
Rigid flag, or if you want to call it, it's a rigid sail. So the sail goes tendentially towards the wind. But I want to take off in this direction.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm using the rudder. Initially on the ground, the rudder also turns my nose wheel, the front wheels that I have. And once I'm in the air, then those ones tell the rudder in the back, and I can keep turning the nose where I want to.
Wow.
That's the same happens on approach. it's many people does tons of YouTube videos in airports where there's gusting and strong winds. Birmingham is one of these, because it's very nice to see these. You have these aircraft, you can see them, especially when the people doing these movies, they manage to align kind of themselves with the runway, with the runway center line. You see the aircraft that are coming down, and they're not looking at you. They're looking somewhere else because they're actually looking into the wind. And then they come down all the way in what we call a crab. So you fly like a crab, because crab moves sideways.
No way.
And so you go down in a crab, and then when it's the right time to do it, you just straighten up your nose, and touch down.
I've never seen that.
Well, I
want to see that. Yeah,
I can show you tons of.
You come down
videos.
Sideways with the wings,
Yes.
kind of, and then you just.
You keep the wings level. So you keep the wings level, but you're sideways.
Yeah, but you're sideways, so you're coming.
Yeah, so the runway is like on your left or on your right.
How do you fly like that? How do you get it to go that way? You just been taught. You can
yes,
I want to
that's
ask you
part of the
this.
lessons that
Have you
do.
seen that movie with Denzel Washington? He plays the pilot.
Flight?
I think it's
it was
Flight.
called.
Yeah, he goes upside down.
Yes.
Can you fly a plane upside down? How real is that movie?
Part of it's
Hollywood.
bollocks.
Yeah,
let's
Hollywood.
say.
Yeah.
Hollywood. But the interesting part is that the author or the director of that movie, he took the inspiration for that specific scene from a real event. Unfortunately, it didn't end up that well as in the movie. It ended up being in a crash, and everybody lost their life. But it was a real event on an Alaskan Airlines. Basically, they lost. Was a screwdriver. So the screwdriver became all of a sudden just a pole, no screws anymore. And so the pilots could not control the what is called the elevator, stabilizer and elevator, which were basically it's the small wings that you have in the tail of the aircraft. And those ones help you to put the nose up and down. And all of a sudden, because that was not a screw anymore, basically they moved the column, but nothing was moving in the back. That was moving freely now.
Oh.
So the aircraft went almost out of control. And what the aircraft did was it started pitching up. And if you pitch up, then you go into a series of problem where you can also stall the aircraft, and the aircraft basically does not sustain itself anymore. It doesn't stay in the air. So what they did to try to recover the situation was to invert actually the aircraft, because they said if we put it down, then maybe we can revert this kind of thing, and instead of going up, we just go down, and somehow maybe we can try to recover. It didn't went well because basically they had no control of the aircraft anymore.
Did they get upside down?
But yeah, they tried to.
So they got upside down and then they slowly.
No. I mean, they tried to invert it, and they saw it was not working anyway. So it was pointless. Then, honestly, I can't remember the whole report of the incident. But
is that something that when a crash happens, does the whole industry? Do you guys get an information on like, okay, this is what happened, this is what the pilot did, this was the mistake, or this is the...
Well, everybody can have the information.
Yeah, but I mean, is it like mandatory? Like, oh, hey, Malaysia flight or China flight or whatever flight went down, and now here we're going to, even though we're not working for that, you're not an employee of Air China, whatever, this is what happened with Air China, and this is why it went down, this is what you need to do, because in case you never know.
So, no, we're not mandated to read the reports of an accident, of a crash or an accident or incident, whatever it is. We're not mandated, but obviously as a pilot, you tend to be interested to understand what went wrong and if that things can happen to you. And you are even more interested if you are flying on the same type of aircraft. Because obviously then you start wondering what went wrong. Was that something that broke up in the aircraft, and that could happen to me.
Is it the manufacturer?
It's,
Is it the company?
yeah, or is it
Is
maybe
it both?
is it maybe some procedures that we do that prove to be not a good procedure to follow? And the second thought that you start having is, if that happens to me, how can I solve the problem? Because I mean, one joke that I used to have with my friends, with some of my friends that were envious about my salary when I started working as a pilot, I mean, you know, you have maybe some friends that say, hey, but you are a pilot, so you have such a huge salary.
That's what I always thought. I mean, growing up, you see them when I'm a kid in the airport, and you see you got your distinguished on. You're walking with the crew and the flight attendants and whatever. And you're going, and it's like, this dude is a billionaire.
That's the scheme that came from the 80s and 90s, and honestly, in the 80s and 90s, yes, pilots
was it good?
Were kings.
Yeah. So it was. And now it's become a stereotype.
Now,
in other words.
now the environment has changed. There's a lot of things that have changed so far, and the work in itself, the job in itself, it's not a premium job anymore. It's a lot more. You struggle a lot more. Yeah, we work a lot more with a lot more time zone differences, or early departures, or a late return at night. And I mean, most of the things that the people don't understand is that when I'm going to work, and I'm out. I'm not at home. So even a simple thing like I need to receive a parcel at home. If I live alone, I'm not at home. And I'm not at home 24/7, and maybe I'm not at home for several days. So even if I want to have Amazon to deliver a package to my home, I need to really tailor and find a day that works. So you know, those things are a cost in your life to be a pilot or a flight attendant, because they have the same type of
they're just
the
as
same
much,
type
right?
of issues.
Don't they?
So yeah, the salary is slightly higher than a normal worker because also of these reasons. But in my case, or in the case of a pilot also, is that the argument that I was telling my friends, the one more prone to be envious of my salary, was that, you know what, the main difference between me and you is that if you are driving your car and then your car breaks down, you just put the direction light, stop at the corner, and then just wait for somebody to fix it. If I am flying my aircraft, if I am flying an aircraft and then I have a problem, then I have to fix it. Because if not, then we're all gonna die.
Don't you just tell the co-pilot to go out the window and take a wrench and a hammer?
Back in the time, I was the co-pilot. So that's I mean, it's as easy as that. That's one of the reasons why you get paid. Why you get paid higher than a normal salary. I mean, I am there to fix problem. Flying an aircraft in a normal condition, I have to say this lightly, it's not overly difficult once you know how to fly an aircraft. The difficult part becomes when things goes wrong, and basically that's where our salary comes from. That's where our value comes from. It's the same usual jokes of there used to be that joke of a farmer that his milking machine stopped working, and then all of a sudden he tried to fix it, couldn't. Then he called a guy to fix it, specialized guys to fix it. The guy looked at the milking machine for like literally 5 minutes, took a hammer, boom, hammered once in a corner, and then the milking machine started working. And the farmer was also happy that thank you very much. Send me your invoice, I will pay it upfront. And then the next day the invoice came and it was like 10,000 euros. And so the farmer went all over the place and said, that's way too much. I want an invoice where you justify all the costs that you incurred, because you only worked for 10 minutes. And then the specialized guy says, yeah, no problem. So he sent an invoice. He said, pressing the hammer on button L3, that was €5. Having the knowledge of which button to press when and how, that's €9,995. And that's it.
That's true in a lot of
it.
jobs.
It's true for
It's
every
true in a lot
job.
of jobs.
So, I mean, we
funny.
are going into one of the things that I see, now we are diverging from aviation, but one of the things that I see in society is that people are not evaluating anymore the value of everyone's job.
And knowledge.
I mean, knowledge.
Yeah.
I mean, if I do something, whatever it is, you are a carpenter, you are a plumber, you are whatever it is, you have knowledge, you have experience, you have expertise in something, and this has to be paid, has to be valued. Because if you do what I can do, then you do it yourself.
Right.
If you pay me, if you call me to do something, it's because you don't know how to do it, and that's why you pay me. You don't pay me because I put you a plumb somewhere, or because I built your bookshelf. You pay me because I know how to do it, and you don't.
Yeah, that's true. I want to get back to your family life when you said, like the Amazon packages, you have to time everything out.
Yeah.
How do you deal with your family life though when you're away from,
With my family now,
Yeah,
or with my family back?
Your
back
family
then?
now? Your family now?
Well, I got married that I was already a pilot, and my kids were born that I was working as a pilot already.
So you've already had the.
So
I'm gone for 2 weeks. I'm home for a week.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
Well, they know the setup at least. I'm not saying that they are happy about that.
That's what I mean. I don't think. Are you happy about that, or is it?
Well, obviously,
Space is good. On one hand,
sometimes,
space is good.
Sometimes you want to be more home, maybe.
Sure.
Sure. But this is my job.
Do you have a say in that? Like holidays, I'm gonna be home. No, you're flying.
Well, holidays specifically, I can ask them when I want to. Then it's not granted 100% that I will get them when I want them. But I can ask. We have what is called a bidding. In my current airline now, we have 2 biddings per year, one for the summer season, one for the winter season, which we play well in advance. I mean, I'm talking about like 6 months in advance.
Is that a seniority thing?
No, it's more like what you had last year. And I mean, every in Scandinavia, everything goes by weeks, as you know.
Yeah.
So then you bid for a week.
Don't you love that? I love that.
Week 30.
I'll see you week 33. Okay, when is that?
Yeah,
it's in August. Oh, right.
Luckily, Apple helped me a lot in that, because I could configure all the calendars in my phones and iPads and computer with the week number, so I can just look at the calendar. But so and weeks are priced at a different cost. So then if 1 year you had all the costly weeks of holidays, then you are at the bottom of the request for next year, because
okay, all right.
This year you got all the good ones. Next year,
so maybe 1 year you have Christmas off, the next year you work Christmas.
For Christmas and New Year's is a different arrangement. Every airline has its own arrangement. My current airline and the same pretty much all my previous airlines. You go alternatively. 1 year you are free on Christmas, 1 year you are free on New Year's Eve, and it goes every 2 years basically. You are home for Christmas.
So
you try to.
In general, though, do you like your being away, and does it make the bond stronger when you're home? I imagine there'd be less fighting, less argument, less discussion about anything. It's just like, yay, dad's home, husband's home, I'm with my wife and kid. The only thing I could really imagine would be attention of all the dynamics of attention, and who do I give it to, how do I give it, when do I give it, have I given enough, have I gotten enough type thing.
Yeah, so arguments and discussions are pretty much the same in every other family. The thing is that there are occasions where you go away and you haven't solved an argument.
So then you gotta use the phone.
Either use the phone,
Yeah.
or you just stay silent for a few days until you get home, and then you get back to, okay, let's get back to it, which could be good sometimes and could be bad sometimes. It's there's good and bad things. As pilots, we have a need sometimes to just plug off. So sometimes,
Plug off.
yeah, sometimes you just look forward to go on a flight, because then you have like 2 or 3 days of relax from family duties and everything else. It's not nice to say, but it's the reality.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. It's nice to do that not as a pilot.
But
You know, I wish I was a pilot, because in my past relationship, I would have an excuse. I have to go fly for 24 hours.
Yeah,
Don't
so-
bug me. But no, now it's like, I need some alone time. Why? And then you have to explain. It's like,
Yeah.
man, can I just be a pilot?
Yeah, so but on the other side, then that's also a struggle for your partner and for your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when my kids were very small, were very young, going away was something that was not pleasant for them and was not pleasant for me either.
Yeah.
Then
I hate to
then
ask
the-
you about the
then
birth
the
of your
kids,
children.
the kids got used to it.
Were you the birth of your children?
Uh,
The birth of your
I was
children.
home.
Yeah.
I was home both times.
They're not a military, the pilot companies.
Yeah,
They just sound or seem like it, but
yeah. I mean, as
you
I
say,
said,
"Hey, I'm having my kid next Friday." They say, "Yeah, go ahead."
yeah. So
Yeah.
the kids got used to the fact that sometimes I'm not present.
Mm.
Having said that, I'm not saying that they're happy. I mean, they still.
Well, we had a dinner the other night, and I met the family. They seem very what a family. I mean,
Yes, I mean, when and that's one of the good things, for example, of me being away. Say, when I go away, I normally go away for 3-4 days in a row, and basically in those 3-4 days, I'm in a hotel room and flying through the night or through the day, so don't have much to do, and I can kind of relax. And I recharge my batteries. So when I get home and maybe my wife is all over the place with the kids because they made her nuts for the past 3 days, then I have the energy to take over
yeah.
and give half a day, 1 day, 2 days, whatever I can do
I noticed
to
one of
my
your
wife to basically recharge.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing of being away. But,
I
the bad
noticed-
thing is that I overload my wife during those 3-4 days that I'm away. So
But that's the job, though, more than it is.
yeah, I mean,
You aren't doing that to her personally.
No, I'm
It's
not.
just,
But again, a normal family, you have this exchange between one parent and the other, maybe in half a day.
Yeah. Every day it happens. Yeah.
In our family, it's a few days in a row.
But I noticed
So-
you with your kids, they would take turns jumping on you and being around you, and you're just like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
I mean,
good.
I
It's all good.
I
Whereas when I have my youngest, all the time, it's like, oh my gosh, there's a point where I don't have a helpmeet. I don't have a wife. So it's just me and him, and when we're together, it's like, man, I need.
yeah, which is basically
Give me a 5-minute woman right here, mother,
Yeah.
bonus mom, whatever, and then let me just like,
which is basically what happens to my wife.
Right,
when I'm away.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the same thing. You are alone with him.
yeah,
And as much patient you can be, and as much you will love him, there are some times that you just want to plug off and just have 5 minutes of silence, for example.
yeah. And there was a little
And-
moment on the walk we took after dinner when your son kept going up to your wife, and she kept saying, "Go with dad, go with dad,
Yeah.
go with get out of my face and go with dad."
And that's part of the game. I mean, we all know it, and I have to say, I'm overly happy of my family, and I think me and my wife we have a very good setup, and we can understand when one of the two is going ballistic, and then when that happens, the other one takes over and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? It's time for you to just pull away."
Not just the kids though.
Okay.
You and her. When she said at dinner, I'm gonna repeat it.
Yeah.
calm down, calm down. And she went like this and did the wings. It's like,
Yeah.
breathe in, breathe out, calm down.
Yeah.
And your whole demeanor was, I was shocked that there wasn't some exchange of Italian, maybe just between you two or something like that. I don't know if it was me or the other guest that was there that was making you aware of everything, but the way she said, I was like, man, if not just her, but if any woman really said that to me, I don't know if I could hold my composure. I'd either have to run away as fast as I can because I'm a ticking time bomb. I mean, hey, breathe in, breathe out, calm down, calm down. Woo!
No, let's put it in this way. I loved my wife to death.
I could clearly tell that, yeah.
And the thing is, I married late. And
what do you mean late?
I married that I was 36 years old.
Is that late?
No, even more. 38.
I don't think it's late.
Let me do the math.
That's not late.
36. Yeah,
is that
36.
Late?
Well,
in the Western world, it's late.
In the whole picture of life.
In Italy, what's the average marriage in Italy?
It's not late, but there's tons of people that marry between 20 and 25.
Yeah, is that how Italy is?
So it's not the common rule. But I would say that between all my group of friends, I was one of the latest one to get married, for example.
Okay, yeah.
And so I kind of get like that picture. So I married late, but because I married late, I had the opportunity to really think of myself and what type of woman do I want to on my side. And I've realized that I have a fairly strong character, and if I want to have a long and lasting relationship, I need to have a woman on my side that have a fairly strong character as well. And now we know that. I mean, we are plenty aware that both me and my wife, we have strong characters, and if one of the two points out to the other one, hey, you just failed on that one. You went completely wrong. You went completely ballistic for no reason. And the other one just tells you in a reasonably nice way. Then the other one just accept it. Because then if you just stop by and think about it, you realize that, yeah, actually she was or he was right.
I need to take this lesson for the next relationship when a woman does say, calm down. Breathe in, breathe out, calm down. It's like, okay, all right.
Maybe we can set up a business for that.
How to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's nice. It's good to hear that you're it's working out for you and the family. And seeing everybody at the dinner table the other night was really it was a cool treat. It was a cool treat. I want to switch gears to what we were talking about at dinner table, and that's AI.
Yes.
And planes.
Yeah.
And like I asked, self-driving cars, self-driving taxis, self-driving drones that deliver with Amazon, self-driving everything. Is there going to be a self-flying 200 people get in and the AI says, "Get ready, everybody, here we go."
Okay, so you opened up quite
Pandora's
a few...
box right there, didn't I?
Well, the thing is, it's not a Pandora's box, but you open several boxes. That's the thing. So, first of all, self-driving. They call a Tesla self-driving.
Yeah.
I say Tesla because it's the most common name, but I mean, most of the electric cars, they call it self-driving, but it's actually not self-driving. I mean, it's helping, and that's one of the biggest thing that I noticed. People think that a Tesla drive all alone by itself, but actually it does not. You still need to tell Tesla where you want to go first. Second, the Tesla is kind of following the road signs, the white lines painted on the ground. If you don't have white lines, then the Tesla is not able to do anything. Or another electric car. I'm saying Tesla to say an electric vehicle in general. I'm not making that advertisement for Tesla.
Yeah, those. I think it's called Waymo or something. Waymo. It's a taxi company in America. I think it's America.
Okay.
You get it with your app,
and
it pulls up, and you get in the car and drives you to your destination. You're in the back seat, but there's no one in there. You're the only one in there.
Then I'm not aware of that.
So it just pulls up. But there's a lot of
I know that
there's a lot of, what do you call it, videos on the internet of them, malfunctioning videos.
Okay.
So they'll just be driving in a circle for hours and hours and hours.
So that's the first thing. There's been cases where people were overly reliant on the technology of an electric car.
Yeah, they fall asleep and die.
They end up dying because, for example, the pattern recognition camera didn't recognize the deer, and it basically continue and then it catch the deer, and then the deer fall on the windscreen and it kill the driver.
Yeah.
Or another time, I've read another car that continued straight because in that moment it was pointing exactly in between the wheels of a truck. And you know, there's the space between the front wheels and the rear wheels of a truck and the lorry. And in the space in between, there's an empty hole. And because the camera of a car is in the lower part of it, then it was spotting the empty hole and there's no obstacle, so the car went on. But the truck, the upper part, I mean, the lower part of the truck is consistent with the upper part of a car.
Yeah.
And basically the driver got decapitated all of a sudden.
That's
So
not good.
so that's the thing. I mean,
So there'll never be a self-flying plane. There'll always be
they are
pilot and co-pilot.
They are, well, there's no self. I mean, aircraft now fly with autopilots because the autopilot is more comfortable. It makes small, tiny adjustments every bit of a second and every millisecond or something like that to keep the aircraft flying smoothly. And it's in that thing is much better than every pilot in the world, obviously. And
the autopilot's better than the pilot.
Well, to keep an aircraft straight and level, yes.
But that's up. That's up.
I mean,
the autopilot can't take off, can it?
An autopilot cannot take off, you know.
Or land.
Land they can.
Autopilot can land?
Yes, in certain conditions.
Okay.
So,
that's new to me.
I would say that 95, 98, 99% of the landings are made by the pilots.
Okay.
But when you land, that it's overly foggy out of the window and you don't see anything, those are one of the cases where the autopilot lands the aircraft. The autopilot has its own limitations. There needs to be some procedures in place in the airport as well to do that kind of operations. It's a specific operations. We have to do a specific training as pilots, as crew, in doing that kind of operation. So it's not an everyday thing. It's something very specific, very trained. It's something that we've been checked also every 6 months when we go into the simulator. So it's not an everyday occurrence. But technically speaking, yes, the autopilot can land an aircraft.
Wow.
So
because visibility is weak.
Yeah, and
so then the instruments
this thing was developed. Yeah, so there's a set of things that needs to be used. The airport needs to have an infrastructure. It has to have 2 radar beams, one that gives the alignment towards the runway in terms of left and right, and one that gives the alignment in terms of up and down to point the aircraft into an exact position on the runway. So the airport needs to have that system in place. It's called ILS, Instrument Landing System. This system needs to be certified for zero visibility operations, so it needs to be very precise and it needs to have redundancy because everything in aviation needs to be redundant. So everything in aviation is at least double, if not triple. Every system. So in the case for the ILS system, for example, those machines that emit the radio beams, they need to have a backup generator that can kick in within half a millisecond. I don't know exactly for the requirements because it's not part of my job. But so the whole system has to be set up for that kind of operation. Then aircraft cannot go too close to the runway because obviously if you have an aircraft, it's a big piece of metal and metal can deviate radar beams, so they cannot go too close to the runway because they cannot then deviate the radar beams that another aircraft is following to land. So there are sets of procedures to be followed, and for the pilots, for the airport, for the operators, everything to do those kind of auto lands. So yes, the aircraft is able to land by itself, but it's not something you do every day.
So AI is not actually. Are you scared of AI taking over the aerospace industry in any way?
No.
What if there's robotic flight attendants that serve you the drinks? Here's your drink, sir. Here's your drink, ma'am.
So
is that a possibility?
It could be.
Could be. Okay.
I would say it could be. That's another...
I'm asking for insider information right now. You don't know any. No word down the top.
The thing is that gives me the prompt for another type of discussion. That's one of the biggest misconceptions also in aviation for normal passengers. The main job of a flight attendant is not there to serve you drinks.
Is it safety?
The main reason why you have flight attendants on board is to save your ass in case something happens.
Safety first.
So a flight attendant is trained in first emergency. A flight attendant is trained in how to open the door, how to use the slides.
Oh my gosh! So all flight attendants are first responders as well?
Yes.
CPR and
up to a point.
Wow.
Up to a point, but yeah, I mean, there's sometimes it happens that you hear the call from the flight attendant, is there any doctor on board?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And out of 380, 400, 500, 550 passengers or even more that aircraft nowadays can have on board, it's not given that you can have a doctor.
Yeah.
So if something happens, then I go back to what I said before. If something happens on a flight, you need to fix it in the flight. There's no help from outside.
So do you get training?
I don't, because my job is to save the whole aircraft.
Right.
So if something happens to a passenger, then my job is to land the aircraft as quickly as possible.
If you were to leave the cockpit and go help the passenger who's flying the plane.
Correct.
Right.
That's exactly the point.
Okay.
One thing that I've learned in my experience in so many years flying is that if you want to do something quickly, that's the moment where you have to slow down. Because if you slow down, then you make less mistakes.
Yeah.
And if you make less mistakes, you're more efficient. And it ended up that you actually are faster. I'm a big Formula One fan. So I used to say the fastest pilot is not the one that acts quicker. It's the one that brakes at the perfect point, starts accelerating at the perfect point, and maybe does that half a millisecond in braking half a millisecond later than everybody else, and accelerating half a millisecond earlier than everybody else, and that's the quickest. But he can do that only because he slowed himself down so much that he can point out that half a meter or 1 meter difference towards everybody else. So the best way to go faster is actually going slower.
Haste is waste. That's what we say in America.
Yeah.
If you go fast, you're gonna make, which is kind of true in a lot of.
It's true in everything. I mean, you can use it for whatever you do for your everyday life.
Yeah,
it's not only aviation, but in aviation, obviously, mistakes can be costly.
Yeah.
So it's more evident.
Like you go fast, but getting to the point to go fast, take your time, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, we used to travel at 800 kilometers per hour.
What do you travel at now?
800 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not that because we're going at 800 kilometers per hour, we do things on a rush.
Right.
We just plan in advance. And the terms that we used to say is that you fly ahead of the plane. So you just think of what's coming next.
800 kilometers an hour. What do you take off at?
250 to 300.
And you can get that plane in the air.
Yeah.
Wow. And then cruising speed is 800.
Yeah.
Is that all flights, commercial and Like
it depends on the aircraft.
business,
It depends
I
on the
guess?
size of the aircraft. It depends on the wind that you have. There's a lot of then we also have two different speeds. We have the speeds that the aircraft is doing and that we read on our instruments. So it's the speed towards the air, which is basically the one that the wings feel, and it's the speed that keeps the aircraft flying. And then we have the speed that we are doing on the ground, so towards the ground. And that speed is obviously affected by the wind. If we have a tailwind, obviously our ground speed is much higher because we add to the speed that we are doing through the air, we add the wind. If we have a headwind, so the wind against us, obviously we detract that speed. So there's our speed on the ground. So to go from A to B on the ground, it takes more time.
I know it's different than the military. Those guys fly.
Well, they still have winds, and
but they fly faster, don't they?
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
or they can.
fighter jets.
Fighter jets.
They fly twice the speed of sound. But we used to have a commercial aircraft that was flying at twice the speed of sound. Unfortunately, it's not flying anymore.
Is it the Concorde?
Yes.
Yeah.
What
happened to that one?
It became too much expensive to operate. Too expensive to operate.
Also, I want to ask you, before we wrap this up, I really want to ask you about the like, I guess, consolidation of companies. Like Spirit Airlines is gone, and is Ryanair going to be gone soon? Is EasyJet? Like all these little teeny tiny, they seem like mom and pop, but they have like a fleet of 15 planes or whatever, and then you have this gigantic UPS has a gigantic fleet, and KLM is big, and SAS, but you always hear, they're going bankrupt. I mean,
so
here's my question: is there going to be one flight company? Welcome to Air World, brought to you by World.
So worldwide, no.
Worldwide, no.
Worldwide, there would
Is it
never
impossible to do?
Worldwide, there would never be a single airline. But I remember 20 years ago when the whole kind of the regulations thing started in Europe. A lot of forecaster, I don't know how to call them, advisors or whatever, analysts, said that they were predicting that on the very long term in Europe there will only be three main groups, and those three main groups would be driven by British Airways, Lufthansa, and Air France.
I love British Airways.
And actually, if you look at the European aviation into what is called the national carriers or the normal carriers, so not the low cost market. That's a different kind of environment. If you look at the big carriers, at the normal carriers, this is actually what's happening, because Iberia is part of the British Airways group. Air France now is called Air France KLM Group, and they are buying SAS. Lufthansa, it's the next big actor, and now they bought ITA Airways, which was the airline that was born from the ashes of Alitalia, so the Italian carrier. Sabina is part of Air France KLM Group. No, sorry, it's part of Lufthansa Group together with Swissair and Austrian. So basically, Lufthansa has Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Belgium, now Italy.
What about the Middle Eastern, Qatar Airways and United what is it? Emirates?
You have Emirates, Etihad, and Qatar Airways.
Are they one? Are they going to be one?
No.
No? They're huge?
Yeah. There you also have a big national proudity. I don't know if that's the word in English, but
prideful.
Yeah, there's a big national pride in that part of the world. So that's one of the reasons why they will probably never mix together. And now there's another actor coming into place, which is Riyadh Air.
Riyadh Air.
Which is trying to also open another market. So
How about these little dudes though? The EasyJets and the Ryanairs, Spirit
those
Airways.
ones, so those ones, they have a completely different market. They are tailoring and they are focusing on a completely different set of market.
Yeah, vacation market.
Ryanair is a big colossus in Europe, and the second one I would say that now is Wizz Air. But Wizz Air, they specialize mainly on the eastern part of Europe, also because they are based there. Wizz Air has a huge presence in all the Eastern European countries, from north to south. They have a slightly lower presence on the western side, while Ryanair is more spread around. Although they have a slightly lesser presence on the eastern side. EasyJet is somewhere in between, and right now there's a financial company or financial institution, I don't know exactly what, that is that apparently is sending out buying agreement for several $1 billion to buy all over EasyJet, and so nobody knows exactly what the future holds for that kind of market. I'm not very knowledgeable on the American market because that's a different thing. And that's the reason why I would say that there will never be a worldwide airline. You can talk about continents, so America, USA,
Air North America,
or
Air South America,
or Europe. As I said, Europe. They were predicting already 20 years ago there would be basically 3 main groups, and kind of the things is materializing. In the United States, I'm not knowledgeable enough to say anything, but what is basically lining up is that now you will have, for passengers, 3 main groups, which are Delta, American, and United. United merged with Continental a long time ago. Delta merged with Northwest long time ago, and the Northwest name disappeared completely. Pan Am blew up.
Wasn't there Trans-America, Transcontinental?
Then there were many other. There was Evergreen. There was other names that I honestly can't remember. But it seems that there will be 3 main groups as well in the States, which are, as I said, Delta, American, and United. United Continental. Southwest is the equivalent of Ryanair in the States.
Oh,
okay. So then we go back to, this is a different niche market.
Yeah.
And Spirit as well. Spirit.
Vegas to LA in a half an hour flat.
Those kind of airlines were competing in the Southwest market.
Okay.
And from my understanding, I'm not a businessman, so it's not my field, but from my understanding, basically Ryanair is mimicking what Southwest is doing in the States.
Okay, makes sense.
Roughly.
So when these companies take over, get consolidated, what happens to the airplanes? Do they get repainted and recycled?
That's the easiest part to do it. Yes. You repainted it, or you just, so every airline to operate as an AOC, airline operator certificate. So that airline operator certificate, basically, to make it short, tells what the airline can do, which type of operations, where is allowed to fly, which are the aircraft registered under that company. So every aircraft has a tail number, like a plate number. You can see that normally in the tail.
It's an N, right?
In America, starts with N, yes, but every other country has different start letters.
Also, isn't it one is commercial, one is like military? Those are different too.
Military, normally they have different type of tails, and normally they have numbers only. Yeah. But civil aircraft, according to in which country they are registered, then they have the first letter or 2 letters are the country where they are registered. In the case of Sweden, for example, is SE.
Okay. So it's like a license plate. Is that what it's like? Yeah. For the
it's
airplane.
It's a license plate, and it's written on the plane somewhere, normally in the tail or in the rear part of the aircraft. And so in this AOC, an airline says we have this aircraft, this aircraft, this aircraft, this aircraft, this aircraft by tail number. So when you consolidate, when you merge two airlines together, then most probably one of the two AOC disappears, and the other one gets expanded with we do this kind of operations, and then we have this new list of aircraft.
Gosh, there's a lot to
operated first.
flying.
Huh?
There's a lot to flying, to the aerospace. There's a lot
Yeah.
to it.
Well, there's
Countless jobs.
it's
Seems like.
it is, and there's especially also a lot of regulations.
Let's do a quick rundown. What's the best part of flying?
You mean for me?
Yeah.
Well, it seems it seems like that I'm saying this because everybody says that, but when you take off on a cloud gray day, and then you start climbing, and all of a sudden you come up of the clouds. Maybe the clouds are in a flat layer, and then you just come out, and everybody's sun shining on top of it, and then you are in the sun. It's always a nice.
That does
always a
sound.
nice thing,
Yeah, that does sound.
And also, I mean, even the other day we were just flying around some thunderstorms, some big clouds. You know, those mushroom, fluffy white clouds.
Yeah.
It's still.
Could you
still
see the
amazing.
lightning and stuff? And
Yeah. Sometimes you can. It depends on which stage the cloud is in, but you
that's
can
probably
definitely
cool
see the
too.
clouds.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, if you fly around on the side of these fluffy white things, it's really nice. You really want to touch them with your hand.
Yeah. What's the worst part of flying?
Staying away from the family, stay away from home. There's long days of working. The fact that aircraft flies 24/7, so you can be working at night, you can be working at early in the morning, you can start at night, you can finish at night. If you do long haul, the jet lag, and sometimes living like a zombie through the night. I mean, it happened to me, especially when I was going in places where I have a 12 hours time zone difference. I had two choices. Either I adapt to the local time, but then I'm 12 hours away from home, or I live through the night. And both of them has their consequences.
And how does retirement look? Are you flying for another 20 years?
Well, first of all, you cannot fly latest than 65 years old.
So you're a forced
that's
retirement
Yeah.
from flying.
Yes, that's a worldwide rule. And so far, no countries have extended the possibility, or as far as I know, extended possibility of flying after 65. So when you turn 65, your job quits.
So
automatically.
You're gonna fly to 65 then? That's your plan?
Hopefully not.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
You want to retire sooner than that, or you want to
Yes.
look for another job?
No, I just want to retire sooner.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's also an economic thing. I mean, I have a family, I have kids. They have to go to school. They have to go to university. So it's it depends on how good we are as a family in managing our finances and so on. So then there are many other things. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want to work in the aviation world anymore, because when you stop flying, you can still work in the aviation world as like a simulator instructor. There's no age limit for that. So you can still have an earning, you can still work in the aviation, you can do other things, you can do things in the office, you can do other type of jobs. So once a pilot is not that because you lose your wings, then your world is finished. Then some of us are they only see aviation in terms of flying. So when they lose the option of flying, they are kind of
crushed,
dead inside. Yeah, crushed.
That's their identity.
And some of us, they see, okay, flying is nice, I like it, or I like aviation, I like every aspect of aviation, but I also have other hobbies. So the day that I'm not flying anymore, then I will focus more on my other hobbies.
Being a Formula One driver?
I think I'm late for that.
One more. Sorry, I just got another one. One final. Is there an easy pilot schedule? you know. When I worked at UPS, I was a fill-in driver. So every day I showed up, I didn't know what route I was going to be on, but I was guaranteed a route. And then I got this one route where that's the route I wanted. Oh, that's so-and-so's route who's like 60. And it's so easy because he's been here so long and he gets to do this. You know, you start early, you get out late, you barely deliver anything, you barely pick up anything, and it was fine. Is there like a guy who's flying from Orlando to Malmo, has a lunch break, Malmo to Orlando, and calls it a day, Monday through Friday, has the weekends off? Are there those flights out there?
The variables that we have in our job are so many that it becomes complicated, and everybody's different, honestly. You have pilots that will do everything to be home every weekend. You have pilots that they don't care as long as they go to their preferred destinations. You have pilots that only wants to fly to holiday places. Pilots that only want to fly to places where it's not cold. Pilots that only wants to fly to places that is cold. I cannot give you the perfect.
So there isn't a real
the perfect
40-hour a
solution.
week, 9 to 5.
Oh no, that a 9 to 5 is something that we don't even know what that is.
Okay.
Then you go like if you go, for example, in the low cost world, you basically are home every day because you do 2 or 4 sectors. So you start from a point which is your home base. You go somewhere else. Normally you come back to that one. You go somewhere else again, and then you come back, and that's your day. And basically the only thing you can choose is, do you want to start working early or do you want to start working late? And but from what I saw in general, they try every type of airline of those type. They try to equalize the job of everyone. So you have a stint of early departures, then you have some days off, then you have a group of late arrivals, then you have some days off, and then you start all over again. And most of the times, most of these companies, they also go on a fixed roster. So 5 days on, 4 days off, 5 days on, 4 days off, or something like that. 5-3, 4-3. It depends. So some of them do, some of them don't. That also depends on the contractual agreements, if there is a union on top of it or not. There's, again, so many variables that it's not that easy. But
Union, I wanted to get into that, but no, that's a boring one, I think. But you know,
depends on what the question is.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been through. I mean, me personally, I think unions are good, more good than bad. But I can understand the individual person not wanting to be in a union for more, I guess, freedom.
I flew in 3 different environments, national and airline environments, where one airline, the unions were only thinking of themselves, so there were basically no benefit for the workers.
Right.
I worked in an airline where unions were illegal, so I had no protections whatsoever. And then I worked in an airline where unions and the company are talking together to get the best out of it for both sides.
It all depends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really depends on the environment that you are in.
There's great unions out there, and then there's unions, like you said, that just like, it's about me, the union representative, not you, who I represent.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
So the answer is not clear cut. That's what I'm saying.
This was fun. Thank you for coming in and joining us for Fika Fredag.
Thank you for inviting me.
Fabio, the pilot, the captain.
Thank you very much.
See you next time.
See you, everybody.